Good evening and welcome to Press Pass. My name is Masai. This is what's coming up. Many are asking if the NASA swearing in will go on. NRM says it is going on. The other big question is if media will cover the function. According to the Editors Guild, it will. Thank you for joining us. We have an interesting program lined up. Tonight, the Jubilee administration is on the spot over attempts to stop the media from broadcasting live Tuesday's swearing-in ceremony of Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. President Uhuru Kenyatta is said to have presided over a meeting that resolved to intimidate and threaten the media with a shutdown if they broadcasted live the event, which was described as illegal. The meeting that was held on Friday at State House shortly before the remaining cabinet was named was attended by several media representatives and 2 cabinet secretaries. But, as Ken Mijungu reports, the defiant media through the Editors Guild says they will go ahead and broadcast the event live in the public interest.
Attention. Thank you.
Just before President Kenyatta announced the remaining part of his cabinet, it is said he sat in a meeting that is now a huge cause of concern with the media fraternity. Editors across the industry are troubled by the agenda of the meeting that was also attended by Deputy President William Ruto, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, Information Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, and the Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai. Media representatives were summoned to the meeting by Information Ministry official Dennis Chebitwe. They include Media Owners Association Chairperson Huntington Gaya, Roski Modho, the proprietor of Three Stones TV, Cyrus Maina from Capital FM, Julius Lemon from CAS TV, Ian Fernandez from MediaMax, and Tom Shindi of Nation Media Group. A multi-choice Kenya representative was also present at the meeting. In the meeting, express instructions were issued to the media houses not to broadcast live Tuesday's contentious swearing-in of NASA leaders Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. The meeting also resolved that if the media houses defied the instruction, then they are to be shut down. Broadcasting the swearing-in is seen by the Jubilee administration as abetting an illegality through their platform. But the Kenya Editors Guild has condemned what it terms as an attempt by the government to dictate coverage of news events. The Editors Guild further says Kenya has a vibrant media industry made up of professional editors and journalists who make decisions on coverage of news events, including those regarded as sensitive. The chairperson of the Guild says the Guild, quote, condemns and rejects instructions, end of quote. The Editors Guild said the meeting at State House held under an atmosphere of intimidation for the representatives present, with the Media Owners Association Chair Huntington Gaya calling the meeting a dressing down, where the media quote was read the Riot Act. Ken Mijungu, NTV.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the statement that was cited in that report, I'd like to read it word for word. And if you'd like to follow it with me, this is from the page of Linus Kaikai, the chair of the Editors Guild. The Kenya Editors Guild is gravely alarmed over developing trend by the government to gag or threaten the media over the coverage of the current political events in the country. We have just learnt today that on Friday last week, a section of media managers and select editors from the main media houses were quietly summoned to a meeting at the State House, Nairobi, the objectives which were unknown. But the proceedings should be clear cause for alarm to the media and indeed the public. The brief meeting attended by President Uhuru Kenyatta, Deputy President William Ruto, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, ICT Secretary Joe Musheru and AG Githu Muigai did not bode well for the freedom of expression and press in the country. At the meeting, President Kenyatta expressly threatened to shut down and revoke the licenses of any media house that would broadcast live the planned purported swearing-in of NASA leaders Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka on Tuesday. That direct threat has subsequently been echoed off record by other senior members of government. The Guild is appalled by the details of the meeting, which was held under the atmosphere of intimidation for the media representatives present. And the chairman of the Media Owners Association, Huntington Gaya, this evening confirmed the tone of the meeting as a dressing down in which the media was, quote, read the Riot Act. This brazen threat is intended to intimidate the media from performing its rightful role of informing the public on matters affecting them. We would like to state it with all the clarity we can that the media is not an actor in the ongoing contest between Jubilee and NASA over the outcome of the last general election. The media remains a mere messenger and a chronicler of any events happening in our country. Our country's vibrant media is made up of competent professionals and journalists and editors that continue to make sound decisions on what constitutes news in public interest. Consequently, the Editors Guild condemns and rejects the threats and purported instructions issued at the State House on Friday. We call on all media houses and journalists to carry on their work diligently and report impartially on all matters of public interest as they have always done. The government should also ensure that journalists are neither harmed nor intimidated as they perform their work on Tuesday and thereafter. We would like to remind the government to respect the freedom of the media guaranteed in Article 34 of the Constitution and the right of the public to information, Article 35, and desist from outdated methods of repression and to also respect the Bill of Rights. As the editors and journalist fraternity, we remain committed to professional ethics and credible editorial practices free from undue interference. And this has been signed as seen here by Linus Kaikai, the chairman of the Kenya Editors Guild. And these are sentiments that have been echoed, as you see from a copy of a story by the Daily Nation, by the Kenya Correspondents Association, that also condemned threats to media freedom and warned against any move to close down any media station or intimidate individual journalists. Quote, KCA joins all progressive forces that cherish liberty against any anti-media freedom act by the state to ensure press freedom as guaranteed under Article 34 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and is not undermined in any way. This is by the KCA chairman, Olo Janak, in a longer statement that was issued today. Now, I'd just like to read a response after the chair of the Editors Guild shared his, and this was by the vice chairperson, and this is quite short, and this was just a couple of hours ago, in fact, probably just 1 hour ago, and this I would like to clarify that the statement from the Kenya Editors Guild chairman, Mr. Linus Kaikai, is the chairman's personal position on the subject matter. I personally attended the meeting to represent the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Managing Director. Of course, that's the government. Now, it was a meeting by the executive led by the president and media owners. What is being termed as a dress down is a misrepresentation of facts. We had a fruitful discussion and we all agreed that media freedom has to be accompanied by a high degree of responsibility. At no point were any threats issued to media houses or any ultimatums given on how we choose to broadcast matters of public interest or those relating to the current political situation in the country. Let it be clear that there has been no meeting by the Kenya Editors Guild Executive Committee to agree on, and the statement alleged to have been sent out by Mr. Kaikai. In this regard, as a vice chairman of the Guild, I disassociate myself with the said statement. The Guild has laid down structures which must be followed when issuing any statement on behalf of members, especially on such pertinent issues, signed by Samuel Maina, the vice chairman of the Kenya Editors Guild. Now, following this, I'd just like to draw your attention to the predecessor of the Editors Guild, and that is Macharia Gaido, one of those who were meant to be on today. And of course, I'll explain a bit further what happened. Macharia Gaido, let me just get that. And this is quite apt. I just actually wanted to come from his own page. It's quite apt and raw. And yes, here we go. This was posted 3 hours ago after seeing the post by the Kenya Editors Guild. Kenya media must resist at all costs. Media freedom is an inalienable right that cannot be abridged by State House. Media houses complying with illegal orders against live coverage of the Raila swearing-in, the planned coverage or the swearing-in, will be willing participants in their own castration. My name is Mark Masai. This is a good point to end Press Pass. Good night.